All right, everybody, come on back. Welcome back to your Elegance Boot Camp. Lucy and I are so excited that you all are here. For anybody new here, hi, I'm Maggie. You know me as Maggie, the substitute teacher from my cooking channel. I love all things food and femininity. Most importantly, I love helping feminine women attract and keep the masculine man of their dreams. Lucy and I have founded the Finishing School for the Modern Woman. Enrollment is open. It is open to women of all ages who want to refine their etiquette, their elegance, and their femininity. It is a privately taught Saturday school, and we start our next session in January. So please join us. I do private coaching, we do private classes, and we also love giving back to the community. So that's what we're doing here. Lucy, would you like to introduce yourself?
I am Lucy. I have a channel that mainly focuses on teaching basic Spanish. And from time to time, I add some items or topics about femininity, elegance, society, and how some ideologies are hurting our femininity in the Western world. So I wanted to tell you, Maggie, look, I found props. My little teacup and I don't know, it's a saucer, I guess you call it. I'm not
Saucer
sure.
is so much more elegant than my janky props from yesterday. So I had y'all, I told y'all know I'm a boy mom, so everything around here is industrial, but today was a very big day for our family. I shared with you all we are making the rounds for Marcus at the recruiter's office to make his decisions. So one day when the boys are up and out, I won't have to have this kind of stuff and I'll have something dainty like Lucy had. But if you don't mind holding it up for just a second, Lucy, I just want to cover we're talking about afternoon tea. Notice how she's holding it. And you all see the little handle. Notice the difference between hers and mine. So the proper etiquette is you can hold it with one finger through and then you use your index finger to stabilize. But when you have this big old janky mugs like I do, you know, we manhandle it. Okay. So this is a mug. That is a teacup. All right, everyone. So I'm so excited. Lucy has props today. So what are we talking about? Excuse me. So for the month of November, we are doing the Elegance Boot Camp. This is your 30-day guide to start your elegance journey. We have been covering Vivienne Abena's book. She has a channel called Woman of Elegance. I highly recommend you all check her out. She's on all social, and her book gives us 30 things to do. And if we do these things every day, we will be well on our way to being elegant. So she has made this book available for our community at a 20% discount. The link is in the description. Your code is elegance20. However, if you are a current or future student of the finishing school, thankfully, Brandon L. Jett has made this book complimentary and included for all of our students. So we are so grateful. We see some of our students in the chat. We see you all coming in here. Oh, yes, we're happy to have you. So let us do a quick recap on where we've been. If I don't have any technology issues, I'll try to share my screen and then we will pick up because we are on day 18. All right, so let's see if I can do this. Okay, let me make sure I'm sharing this. All right, ladies, so we're going to go through because we are more than halfway done. We started from the outside in, making sure you know your signature style. Then we talked about making sure your closet was ready. Then we talked about those shoes and accessories, your makeup and hairstyle routine, your grooming routine. Make sure you always look neat and smell nice. Sit up in the chair, stand up straight, work on your posture. Then we moved into the conversation part of elegance because, ladies, elegance is not just about putting on a name brand dress. It's not even that. It's from the inside out. So, for your conversation etiquette, making sure that you think before you talk, making sure that you learn how to listen intently. Sure, when you speak articulately and ways to help you with that. Also, when you speak, don't share everything. An elegant woman has a little bit of mystery to her. And watch that body language. If you have any nervous ticks and clicks, it can show a lack of confidence. So you want to be mindful of that. Also, be well read and make sure you're versatile in any environment so you can fit in. All right. We are in my favorite section, the dining etiquette, ladies. We've been talking about those table manners, how to use your utensils correctly, how to read a menu in a restaurant and what to do in advance, how you should conduct yourself when dining with others. And then yesterday we started afternoon tea. And today we are actually going to continue afternoon tea. I actually want to hold here for a moment because I don't have the proper visuals here in my very industrial home. But I want to just go over what you all are seeing on the screen and just explain. Lucy, before I begin, do you have anything to add?
No, nothing. I'm excited that I was able to practice my tea holding skills that I learned yesterday. So no, I want the explanation of what you're showing us right now. This is great. Muted. You're muted.
Let's try this again. Okay, ladies, Vivienne is English, so a lot of the content in her book is going to skew more towards the UK. So this whole afternoon tea section is not something that we typically do in the US. However, you can experience tea. I think it's a wonderful outing. I actually went out for tea this afternoon. And so you can make it as fancy or as simple as you want, but I want to use the picture here just so you ladies are familiar. So thank you, Lucy, for putting this together. Okay, ladies. So if you look on the left, let me make sure I'm going to go over to it. This picture over here, this is your typical tea service. And I just want to explain what you're seeing. So first of all, you can see in the back, you're going to be in, some type of restaurant, or in the hotel that we were in, the bar area, they had certain tables set aside for tea service. So it's going to be a type of fine dining. So you will see white tablecloths. You will be probably making a reservation online. Either they have it in a small window from like 11 to 1, or they may have like a 1 o'clock serving, a 3 o'clock serving. So you can just check. I highly recommend you ladies look at the nice hotels in your area, go to their website, check out their dining menu and see if they offer afternoon tea. This is a great way to have a little elegant experience without spending $450 a night for a hotel. I'm not doing that either, especially this time of year. They're decorated so beautifully for the holidays. It just gives you a little bit of that holiday spirit. Okay, so like I said yesterday, when you go for afternoon tea, you will be presented a menu. You will be presented a tea menu. You'll have your black teas, your green teas, your herbal teas, your floral teas. We talked a little bit about the teas that we liked yesterday, but you can select the one that you like. You can also ask for a recommendation. Usually it's going to be loose leaf tea, and then everyone at the table will get their own pitcher. I know in these pictures it shows just one here and one here, but today I went out for tea with another person, and so there were two pitchers. So when you choose your tea flavor, kind of like selecting wine from a wine list, you will get your glass. They will actually put the loose leaf tea in a strainer in a pitcher of hot water. So you'll be able to refresh your own tea at the table. So if you're dining with 4 people, there will be 4 of these pitchers. Okay, so that's what you can expect. You will have a teacup and a saucer, like Lucy just showed you. And again, the teacup is going to be small. Notice how she's holding it here with her hand. Your index finger, which is your pointer finger, goes through the little loop, because you saw with Lucy's, it's a very delicate and small piece of serveware, drinkware. So you're not going to hold it, with all 4 hands like a mug. No pinkies up. Proper etiquette is index finger through the loop, and then you use the kind of the knuckle of your other fingers to support it. Okay, so you'll have your pitcher, you'll have your teacup and your saucer. We talked about the saucer stays on the table if it's a seated tea. So you can notice here she has her cup, she has her saucer. When you stir your tea, and we talked about the proper way to do that, then the teaspoon goes on the saucer. The person that I was with today, we were going over the tea experience, and I would love to teach you all. Maybe we can do like a tea workshop, but you don't put your soiled teaspoon on the white tablecloth. You would actually put that on your saucer, and I have a bad habit of doing this, but you're really not supposed to like lick it after you stir. Okay. So the only time you would actually pick up the saucer is if you were walking around. Let's say it's a garden party or a standing tea service, but I haven't been to one of those. So you're going to have all of the serveware. This looks like it might be either some butter or some sugar cubes. You'll have everything: brown sugar, white sugar, maybe honey, lemon, butter, jam, all of that comes to the table for you to share. So this is a tea tower. This tiered tower is usually what you will see. They will bring you an assortment. And we talked about yesterday the proper etiquette to eat. So you notice the little finger sandwiches here on the first level. So those are the crustless sandwiches of variety, and they will continue to replenish until you tell them no more. So the wait staff will bring more out. Everybody works on that first course, if you will, and then you move to the next. So you notice here on the second tier, it looks like kind of cornbread or cakes, but this would be your scones. They call them, we call them scones. I call them sweet biscuits. I'm in the South. Proper etiquette for the scones, ladies. They have a little groove, kind of get into the groove. They have a little groove like an English muffin or a biscuit. And all of this is finger food. So you're not going to be served like a knife and a fork or standard tea. You will have tongs to serve yourself from the tower onto your plate. Then you break it open like you would a biscuit or an English muffin, and then you put whatever you want on it and eat. That's on the second tier. Everyone would get their fill of the scones, and then you move to the dessert tier, which is the top. Again, it'll be an assortment. There are some dishes that are traditionally English, like cucumber sandwiches will always be there. Salmon will always be there, smoked salmon. Chicken, they call it coronation chicken because the queen used to love it. It's like a chicken salad. And then different tea houses will have their kind of local chef's choice or their specialty pastry. So if I'm in the South, we may have something like peach preserves or something like that. So it's nice when you go to tea in different places, you'll get a variety of whatever the pastry chef's imagination is. And so dessert is at the top, and everybody has their fill of desserts while you're refreshing your tea, and the wait staff will come and give cider or champagne. Again, you can make it as fancy or as simple as you want. So I'm going to stop here. I know that's a lot, ladies, but I love these pictures that Lucy put together for us so you all can see. Lucy, did you want to add anything while we're on this slide?
I love the comment that you said that the spoon goes on the saucer and not the table, just because it's was white cloth and you don't want to stain um, the 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 beautiful table that they set up for us.
Absolutely. And again, ladies, so I know my stuff is janky, okay? But you can see now because you have your own personal picture, and tea service is usually expect like 90 minutes. It could be an hour to 2 hours because you're talking. Remember, we said dining with others is never about the food. So as you're drinking your tea and you're refilling it, you may add more sugar or lemon or whatever. So you're going to stir again, and then it goes. I know this is a fingernail file, but you stir 12 to 6 o'clock, and then it goes on the plate. You wouldn't want to put your soiled spoon on the tablecloth. Okay, so it goes here, and then you drink delicately. All right. So that is a little bit about the tea service from that picture. Now let me see. Go ahead, Lucy.
I also learned that sometimes for those of us have little hands, holding the cup, sometimes it's okay to have your fingers to support it on the other side to drink. So, Thane, Mithra, hi, Mr. Thane. Thank you for
You're
being here.
absolutely right. Okay, so y'all know who it is. Mufasa Thane is back. I hope he doesn't spank us again. We all got in trouble last time. I'm dropping the link in case he wants to speak. You all know when Thane comes, he has the floor. But yes, you are correct. Ladies, this is a picture of hot water with tea. Okay, so you want to make sure, usually your teacup is very dainty. So it's not going to be, remember I said you all, those American, what we consider standard here is actually quite large. I mean, you can just tell the difference between this coffee mug. When I hold it with one thumb and index finger, it doesn't even stay up because it's big. I have to hold it like this. This is not for tea service. When you have a delicate teacup, you can literally just pinch it. But to Lucy's point, absolutely, you can use two hands just to keep it stable. This is something that you can practice at home. You can absolutely get comfortable with. But tea is to be savored, it's to be enjoyed. It's an afternoon experience, so you don't have to rush it. You can absolutely enjoy. All right, so we've talked about the tea tower, so you all get a picture of what to expect if you do go for tea. Now, I have to say, if you know that you're going for tea, you want to wear, I would say the dress code would be what we would call Sunday best. So you want to have something, I would say feminine if you have some type of dress. It could be a blouse, but you can see here they're not formal, but it's not like a jeans and sneakers thing either. So again, this is an English tradition. So the ladies would gather and of course put on their dresses. You can make it as fancy as you want, but if you are going to go for tea, this would be a great time, especially those of you ladies who aren't comfortable in dresses. This is a great how do I say, feminine experience, but it's not. Thane. No comment, no question, just the pure love of the tea. I cannot thank you enough. You are so generous when you come from the moon and the stars and the jungle and the bushes and whatever. And you're so supportive and such a blessing. We appreciate you. Thank you. I am so grateful. I know I speak with on behalf of Lucy too. We are so grateful. But Lucy, do you want to say anything to Thane?
Thank you, Thane. Your support, as Maggie always says, we do have some of the strongest support is from our men in this environment, and we absolutely appreciate that. Appreciate that you see the need and the you appreciate what we are trying to do. It's again one little drop in that bucket, but we are trying to get our society back a little bit under order. Thank you, Thane.
Yes. Thank you. We're trying. So, yeah, I'm just so incredibly humbled. Thank you. And whenever you want the floor, it's yours. So, ladies, what I was saying that for those of you all who feel like you struggle a little bit putting on a dress or putting on a skirt, maybe you're a little.
Oh, Thane, thank you so much, sir. We appreciate this. Really.
I'm not speechless too often. I just updated the ticker. I'm going to update it again. $400. Everybody put Thane in the chat. Everybody put Thane in the chat. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay. Thank you, Thane. Wow. Oh my goodness. Yes. That will go directly to Lucy as soon as we are. You know what? When you speak, it's coming your way. Okay.
It goes, you know how I feel about things. So we'll talk about it when we get. Thank you, Thane. Thank you. This is amazing. Thank you.
Y'all, Lucy is so selfless. She's like, no, just invest it back. You all know neither of us have daughters. And so this is really our heart to help women who didn't get this type of teaching. And so we are so passionate about informing you so that you feel comfortable and confident in any situation. So, oh, what I was saying, so for you ladies who struggle wearing dresses or skirts, you maybe feel a little awkward. I think afternoon tea is a great experience where you can put on a dress and you can feel comfortable. You can see here from the picture, it's delicate, but it's not so feminine and so girly that it's like you need ruffles and all of that. But you can see here, even in the dining setup, and Lucy and I talked about this yesterday. This could be a great place for a girls' tea or a date. It's absolutely a place that there were men when I was there today too. This could be a great date, just a nice afternoon, especially in the luxury hotel of your choice. Okay.
And I think, sorry, and I
Yeah.
think that this environment for tea, I think it allows women to understand how wearing a feminine dress doesn't mean a dress that's going to follow all your curves, and it's not going to be something that's going to be just, just showing off your silhouette. It's just going to be that dress that just makes you feel soft and feminine and modest and dainty. So I think that this, if you want to experience tea, I think, and if you're not used to wearing dresses, I think this would be an opportunity to start getting yourself into the dress wearing um, concept, because again, dresses make us women feel so feminine.
Yes, that's absolutely true. And just the whole tea service from a hot, drinkware that's delicate, and then a hot liquid, and then small petite sandwiches and small delicacies. It's not the type of food that you eat in a hurry. Just the whole dining experience kind of forces you to slow down and take small, delicate bites. That's something that I've had to work on. The reason why, and I've shared with you all, I drink out of a glass instead of just a water bottle or whatnot, is because it forces me to slowly pick up the glass, handle it with care, take small sips, and then I'm mindful to set it down gently. Y'all, I used to be a bull in a china shop, just grab stuff, toss it back, hit it down hard. That's not elegant. And elegance is not rushed. So these experiences, I had to do them as part of my own training for etiquette school, but it's a fun homework assignment. But these are the types of things, ladies, if you struggle with kind of feeling comfortable in your femininity, put yourself in an environment that will promote that. Because, like I said, whether it's here or anywhere else, the world that we live in, the fast paced, masculine, competitive world, will draw more of that out of you. So you have to be mindful. It could be just fresh flowers on the table, it could be a candle, soft music. Make sure you have a routine of some type of self care. Okay. Oh my goodness. Oh, yeah. Isaiah says nothing too tight, just spunky. There actually is a style, ladies, called tea dresses. If you've watched my cooking show where you see me wear some of those, like, I would describe them as the like 1950s housewife kind of dresses, the A line, kind of West Side Story. I love that. But there is a name, there's a tea dress. It's kind of like below the knee length and it's an A line. You can get those Amazon thing. We talked about it last time, Ross, TJ Maxx. You don't have to spend a lot of money, just something that's feminine that you can feel comfortable in and give it a try. Oh my goodness, I'm overwhelmed. Okay, I know that was a lot, but I wanted you all to see this picture. And let's see, where are we? We are moving on to day 18. So we are going to continue talking about afternoon tea. I do want to show you all this picture here. So this is another an example. You can see the scones, I'm sorry, the tea tower, the tower here. And each hotel and each experience does it different. Now notice this here. So these ladies are seated for tea and you can see that they're in a lower couch kind of seating that doesn't have like a like a dinner table. You all know where a dinner table kind of comes to your like midsection. So notice how here she is holding the saucer. This is appropriate because she doesn't have a table, like a proper table. So if you're sitting like this, where you have to sit back and you don't have a place to rest your saucer, this is appropriate etiquette to hold the tea carefully so we don't have any accidents. And everybody will choose their own tea flavor, and it's totally fine to sample each other's tea if you want to. So we talked about this yesterday. You will get your own pitcher of the flavor that you choose. So there may be 4 pitchers of tea or 2 pitchers of tea. And once you drink one, if you want to, oh, may I try yours? And then you can pour some in. So if it's a dining table, the saucer stays on the table. If you're sitting like where you have it in your lap or standing, then the saucer would travel with the teacup. Would you like to add anything to that?
Yes. Notice on that, notice, notice what that picture, look at the dress. So the reason why it's important to look at, to be conscious about modesty and the dresses and a nail line down to your knees is because if you're sitting at a seat like this, the dress is going to come up and it's going to be very uncomfortable to be sitting with a shorter dress, trying to figure out the best way to sit, sideways with your legs, with your ankles crossed a little bit. So just think a little bit about why it's important to have that modesty concept in your head, especially when you're going to a new place that you don't know what the sitting arrangement is going to be. So that Maggie mentioning the A line just below your knees is the perfect uh, length for a dress for an occasion like this.
Absolutely. And we'll come to the chat in a moment. I know y'all have some comments, but yes, ladies, you should know this, but just so you know, especially our younger ladies, the length of a dress when you stand up, it will shorten when you sit down. So a dress that's below the knee will kind of come to the knee when you sit down. A dress that's already above the knee, it's going to hike up even more. And not only for modesty, but you do have a hot beverage. So you just want to be mindful of that. So you know how to gather your skirt underneath you and sit down gently. One last thing I'll point out, if you notice the lady in the green dress, notice how she's kind of sitting with her knees to the side. That is an elegant way to sit because ladies, we always want to keep our knees together, okay? Whether you're wearing pants or a dress or whatnot. So ideally, you're sitting kind of at the edge of the chair because we don't have our back there, and you can cross your ankles cross your feet at the ankles. That's fine, but you can also keep your upper body facing forward. And I know you don't see all of me, but you can kind of turn your hips. I mean, my knees are facing this way, but my body is facing this way. So you can practice these little things so that you're not exposing your front if you're sitting across from someone. So that's an elegant way to sit with just a little bit of feminine shape, but you're still, comfortable. All right, what are y'all saying in the chat? Isaiah says, Lucy, you've been quiet. Lucy's been talking. He says, what are your thoughts? I don't know if you want to respond to that.
No, I think in the format on this on these calls is Maggie usually presents the content and then she asks me for my thoughts. So that's how we usually do it. I'm not the talker here, so Maggie pushes me a lot to be talking more.
Well, you all know Maggie and Lucy, or as Zoom to Thailand calls us Salt and Pepper, or one of y'all called us Laverne and Shirley. The Maggie jackets have been ordered and embroidered and are on their way, so you all will see us. But Lucy and I have a lot in common, but we're also very different. You all know me. I never met a stranger. I was told you can talk a nail into the wall. Okay, shout out to the South. Lucy is an admitted introvert, but she feels comfortable being my sidekick. And so I wouldn't have it any other way. Okay, so if you all have questions, feel free to ask. But yes, I thought these pictures were great. And this is what Lucy did. She put together these slides. So I just wanted you all to see these little sundresses, completely appropriate, maybe a little bit longer, and just some examples of what tea service looks like. All right. So let us go to the next. I'm going to pull up Vivienne's book and we will move to day 18. This is so much fun, y'all. I could nerd out on this stuff. Believe me. Believe me. Okay. So this is Vivienne Abena, and she has a channel called Woman of Elegance. So very excited that she has given us permission to teach from her book, The Ultimate Elegance Guide. We are up to day 18. Again, the link is in the description. You all can get 20% off if you do all of these things by the end of 30 days. Hopefully you're not completely overwhelmed, but you'll be well on your way to being more elegant. And ladies, Lucy and I tell you all the time, elegance never ages. I will be 48 in a couple of weeks. So I'm a woman in my 40s. Lucy has shared that she's 57. So even we can still learn and we can still refine. You can age gracefully. We're all going to age. It's just how you do it. And you can be an elegant woman at any age. So it's never too early and it's never too late. Okay, so let us see here. Let me go to Vivienne's book. All right, day 18, afternoon tea etiquette. Respond to the RSVP and let your host know whether they should expect you or not. It is rude to turn up unannounced. Dress appropriately and arrive on time. So let's unpack that, ladies. Now, for most of the tea service that you go to here in the US, it's probably going to be at some type of hotel or tea house. We talked yesterday about the origins of afternoon tea and how it started in like a royal lady's parlor, and so her kitchen staff provided her the beverages and snacks, and then people came to her home. You could absolutely do tea in your home, but it's probably going to be a place where you meet others. Either way, if someone is inviting you, I can't remember if we talked about it in finishing school or here, but ladies, the RSVP is very important because whoever is inviting you has planned for a certain number of people to attend. If you're unable to make it, this is for tea or any event. If you're unable to make it, just politely decline. You don't have to give a reason why, but you don't want to keep the host waiting. The proper etiquette is within 48 hours of receiving an invitation, you need to be responding back to the host for various reasons. If you're interested, Lucy and I have an on-demand course. Link is in the description. I'm sorry, y'all. Every time Thane speaks, I'm going to listen. Oh, he's going back to the bushes. Oh, thank you so much, Thane. Just thank you so much, y'all. I just so grateful. Okay. The RSVP, make sure you respond. If you are going to attend, say so. And if you say you're going to attend, you should attend. But the absolute worst etiquette is just showing up unannounced. You absolutely do not want to do that. All right. So make sure that you honor the RSVP. So, yes, before we go on, Lucy, did you want to add anything to RSVP and turning up unannounced?
Yes, we have an entire section for the RSVP concept in the finishing school. And it's something, again, when you talk about being feminine and being elegant, it's about the consideration to others. It's not ever about you, it's consideration to everything else. So this is consideration for your host, saying yes or no. It's okay to say no. It's okay to decline an invitation, but make sure you do so they can then move on and prepare accordingly.
Absolutely. And ladies, here's a little insider tip. Oftentimes, when hosts are planning an event, they may have like, what do they call them? Like an A-list actor. They may have like an A list of attendees and then a B list, and then, people that may be a distant relative or whatnot. So you never know if you're taking a spot that maybe someone else could fill. So always honor the RSVP. All right. If you want to know more about that, Lucy and I have a course for you. It's called the Hosting etiquette, we talk about what the host is responsible for, what the guests are responsible for. Link is in the description. It's good for this time of year or any time of year. We have a full on-demand course you can check out if you want to know more about that. Okay, so back to day 18, what does Vivienne say? Dress appropriately and arrive on time. Bring a gift along if dining at home. Familiarize yourself with other guests and make small talk. So let's unpack this one a little bit. First thing, dressing appropriately. So we already talked about that. So, ladies, what is appropriate for tea? I would probably describe it, and I am not a stylist. This is a struggle for me, but whatever you would consider probably Sunday best. So, something feminine, something comfortable, but something a little bit nice. Not a gown, but not jeans and sneakers. You can wear a blouse. You could wear slacks if you wanted to, but that's ideal for afternoon tea. Um, let's see what else she says. Arriving on time. So yes, for dining with others, whether it's tea service or dinner service, we talked a little bit about this before. You want to arrive within about 5 minutes of the stated time. This is a meal or a dining experience that is enjoyed together. It's not like a buffet where you go and you can just kind of flow in. Usually they will wait to seat the whole party, and then they will bring out the tea selection or give you the tea menu. Everybody chooses, and they bring the tea and the towers out in courses. So when you are late, then people are kind of waiting on you. And we talked a lot about that. You don't want to make the focus on you. So you all know we have technology, communicate if it's an emergency, but you do want to come and enjoy, because dining with others, again, is never about the food. It's about the experience. And with that, Vivienne says, bring a gift if dining at home and familiarize yourself with other guests. So those 2 points. Ladies, whether it's a tea invitation, which probably won't be at someone's home since we're in the US, whenever you go to someone's home, especially for the first time, bring a modest gift. We talk a lot about this in finishing school. There are some gifts that are better etiquette than not. I won't get into that here, but the best gifts are something that is personal but not too intimate, um, and something that can be shared with everyone. For example, a hand soap and lotion sink side duo, or a box of chocolates if they eat sweets, or if they consume alcohol, maybe a bottle of something, or a table book. Just anything nominal that can be admired by everyone. Those are the types of appropriate gifts. And then believe it or not, ladies, if you're invited somewhere as a guest, yes, the host has responsibilities, but you also have responsibilities as a guest. And one of those is to try and make some type of small talk. I know our introverts are cringing on the inside, but small talk is important. And I'll give you one last tangible tip. Look for things that you have in common. So you were both invited to this event by the same host. How do you know Sally? We went to high school together, or her husband and my husband are law partners, or whatever. Look for things that you have in common, the area, anything that can kind of strike up a conversation. All right. What would you add, Lucy?
I'm glad you mentioned the small talk for introverts. And and I think that previously I've said that for introverts, small talks is it's a challenging part of socialization, because what we like is to get into the meat of a conversation rather than the surface. So that idea about how do you know the host, that is a perfect small talk beginner topic.
Absolutely, yes. We love giving you all tangible tips that you can take away. Yes, this chapter or this section is on afternoon tea, but it could be business networking. This time of year, it could be a holiday party. You could be invited as a plus one, meeting the the family for the first time, in laws, potential in laws, go ahead and be prepared with a few things that you can kind of feel comfortable with. So, for example, if you like eating, have you tried any new restaurants lately? That way, it can be a natural conversation. If you like travel, have you traveled any, or do you have any dream destinations? So you kind of box yourself into a topic that you already feel comfortable about. Don't You all already know politics, religion, and I would add even like pandemic, wars in other countries, anything that could turn into a debate, just avoid it. This is not the time or the place. All right, let's see. What else does Vivienne say?
And I also think, as guests, we could also do our own research before we arrive into a gathering. For example, for this tea service, I researched what kind of gifts to bring for a tea party or a tea event, and you can bring in the tea sampler set, tea infuser or strainer, teapot, teacups and saucers, scone or scone mix, jam and preserve set, tea towels. So do your own research just because you want to get into a place where at least you know a little bit of the environment that you're going to be um, socializing in.
I love that. That's one thing that Lucy has. She's so much better at it than me. Like, I don't want to say I don't research anything. I do a lot, but I love how studious she is. And yes, that would be a great gift because it goes in line with the occasion. Now, I think because this is British, you're probably more likely to have full tea service in those type of cultures. Y'all see,
Mhm.
I don't even have a proper teacup, or like I couldn't set the table with the three-tier tower and all of the accoutrement and the matching teacups. If you have all that, God bless you. I'm a boy mom, y'all already know. But yes, if you are invited to someone's home for tea, even if it's just two ladies and it's Biscoff and a green tea, you could absolutely bring like a replenishment or maybe a specialty honey from whatever area you're in. Think about those types of things that complement the occasion. I love that. All
And
right.
that shows the host that you're being thoughtful about the event. So again, it's about consideration to the host and everyone else.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. What else does Vivian say? Appreciate the host and thank them for the food. Don't leave the table with a toothpick in your mouth. Chat for a few minutes before taking your leave. So let's talk about this one. Ladies, appreciating the host, we really shouldn't have to say that, but it is so important to say thank you and give a compliment. Find something nice to say. They went out of their way to either invite you into their home or invite you to tea service, even if it was your first time, even if you don't like cucumber sandwiches, even if you don't appreciate the harpist in the corner. Ugh, just find something positive to say. This was a lovely experience for me. I've never had tea before, so thank you so much for inviting me. Okay, you never want to just get up from the table and leave. I don't care if it's a family dinner or a work or a tea service or a gathering. Find the host. You really should. Proper etiquette, ladies. Whenever you come into someone's home or any event, find the host and introduce, or at least make sure you make eye contact and not announce that I'm here, but make sure that you see them and thank them in the beginning or greet them in the beginning. Happy holidays, happy Thanksgiving, whatever it is, before you go to the table or just start talking to other people, because it's rude. Think about it. You went through all this to invite people and you're sitting there and they just come in, open bar, eating the snacks, talk amongst themselves, and they never even take the time to acknowledge you. So it's those simple things. Always greet the host when you arrive. Always thank the host when you leave. Show appreciation for that. Those are the little things that you can do for free that make you more elegant. Don't leave with the toothpick in your mouth. Ladies, we talked about that. Any grooming, I don't care if you have whatever going on, you quietly excuse yourself, go to the ladies' room, take care of it, and come back. Okay, we are not doing toothpicks. This type of food is more like finger food. I think you should be fine eating it. It's not like anything that would get stuck, but no, none of that. None of that ever at all. And then chat before, a few minutes before taking your leave, meaning you don't want to just, okay, that was great. We finished all three towers, and I'm going to dine and dash. Spend a little bit of time just talking and making some connections. Maybe you meet one person that you didn't know before you arrived. When I coach my introverts, I'm like, your job is to just come back with three things that you learned from the whole event that you didn't know. That is all you need to do. And just make sure you spend a little time socializing. And then, of course, you could say, I've had a lovely evening, but it's getting late. Thank you so much for inviting me. Okay, ladies. So whether it's a date or a team dinner or whatever, as soon as the bill is paid and you're out the door, that's rude. All right, Lucy, would you like to add anything?
Did you? Yes. He came back
Thanks.
to
This is
troll
super
you.
cool.
See? So what?
Oh,
And you mentioned it the other day.
I told you. Okay, for those of y'all who don't know, Lucy, if you don't mind, when Mufasa Thane came to spank all of us, and we were talking about, we were in this section like accessories, or I can't remember what we were talking about. He basically said, ladies, you with the big watches and other accessories that are very masculine are not appealing to men. Do with it what you will. And I had, it wasn't like a big one, but I had a bigger watch on and I felt shame, kind of. And so that one was a Michael Kors. This is a Citizen, just so you ladies know, you can get these bracelet type watches that are very delicate because ladies, feminine parts of the body that you may not have realized are our necks, our collarbones, our wrists, our ankles, our waist, anything that shows a little bit of the delicacy, a little bit smaller, more dainty than a man, actually quite attracted to them. So yes, with fasting, I put on a very delicate bracelet watch. Okay, Lucy, please go ahead.
The fact that you received an invitation means that you were in that host's mind. So once again, that is, a thoughtful thing that they thought about you to invite you into their home. So it's only the considerate thing to greet them at the beginning and say goodbye and make sure that you show them appreciation for having you as part of this event at the end of the night.
Absolutely. And I feel like I've said this many times, ladies, it's never about the food. So even in a group tea service like this, like cucumber sandwiches, these scones, I'm not really a tea person, I'm more of a coffee person. None of it. Zip it. Find one thing to compliment, even if it's the fact that they included you. You have now had tea experience. It may not be your cup of tea. I had to. It may not be your cup of tea, but show gratitude, okay? Be gracious, ladies. All right. And then the last thing that Vivienne says in this section is join in tidying the table only if your host asks for assistance and don't depart late. Now, again, ladies, we're not talking about you're with your family, Thanksgiving, Christmas, or whatnot, and everybody's cleaning up. We know each other. It's actually poor etiquette to start like cleaning up, whether you're in someone's home or even at a restaurant. People think that they're helping, and it can be a nice gesture, but it's actually a little bit imposing because, go with me, I learned this in class, ladies. It actually kind of signifies to your host that they're not getting to it fast enough or they're not doing a good job. So you show graciousness. You can ask, may I help with anything? And if they say, oh, no, thank you, you don't start saying, girl, let me get this stuff right here and start wiping. You don't do that, okay? You don't insert yourself into their way of handling their event. If you offer and they say, oh, yes, if you don't mind, could you bring the dishes to the kitchen? By all means, help. But even if you're at a restaurant, you wait for the wait staff, especially in a nice restaurant. They're always notice when you've stopped eating on your plate, and then they will come ask you, may I take it? Um, for tea service, you're not getting multiple plates and cups, but you all know what I mean if it's a multi course meal. But you don't stack. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You move everything to the edge and start stacking it on top of the other. So it looks like, hey, come get this. No, that's actually poor etiquette. And then the last thing she says is don't depart late. Ladies, we talked a lot about this yesterday. Guests take their cue from the host, okay? So if the host stands up and says, it's been a lovely evening, any of those things, ladies, read the room. You also stand up, even if you're not finished. I got more biscuits. No, you do not. It is time to depart. Thank them, compliment them, and make your way to exit. All right. Don't be that straggler. Ladies, y'all know that guest that everybody's like, are they ever gonna leave? What would you say, Lucy?
Start turning the lights on and off to let them know that it's time to leave. No, and then at the table, if you're trying to even help the servers have a way of picking up the plate and putting it together. So just I understand that we would want to help them, but again, it could be a liability too because they know how to stack things on their arms to take them. So let them do their jobs. I know that they do appreciate know how to handle those utensils and those plates and those saucers the way it best works for them.
Absolutely. All right. So I'm going to come to the chat now. Since Thane is still trolling us, I'm going to drop the link in case he wants to speak camera off because we will never see him. We will just feel him. What are you all talking about in the chat? So Kaylee says, you doing okay, Lucy? We're okay? Okay.
Yes, yes.
So Kaylee says, I agree. Owning large items without lifestyle necessity is masculine. Jewelry, cars, equipment, etc., etc. Wow, I hadn't heard this one. So I know Thane was talking to us about our watches. I have my bracelet watch on today, but I never understood this. And look, I don't want to get in any trouble. I'm sure there are women who like pick 'em up trucks or, riding tractors. I cannot relate. God bless you. But yeah, I mean, it's just, I love what Kaylee says here about large items without necessity. So, without lifestyle necessity, of course, if you are a farmer and you need this type of equipment, by all means. But I've always found it curious. You ladies tell me when I see a woman in like a Hummer or any of those like really, really big vehicles, I'm like, how did you even climb up there? But that's me. Maybe some of y'all like it. But yeah, what do you say about that, Lucy?
I don't know. I just, being as small as I am, I'm 5'2". I'm just a little petite thing. I just can't imagine in one of those Hummers, even just going up on those things. It wouldn't be feminine to even get on top, climbing that into a truck. So again, it's thinking, how feminine will I look going into a monster truck? That's just not meant for me to drive. Again, there's a practicality to it. And again, if you're showing off, as a woman with a Lamborghini or, one of those big cars, what are you trying to prove? Again, it goes back to it's all about attention, and we do not want to call attention to ourselves. Our silence, our quiet femininity calls enough attention already.
Yes, ladies, I love that. And I was listening to another etiquette coach, Jamila Musayeva. I have her books, they're over here. And she said something that just struck me. She said, there's two types of people. There are the type of people that walk into a room and say, here I am. And then there are the type of people that walk into a room and say, there you are.
Mm.
So Your choice. Ladies, we give you the information here, but elegance is really about simplicity. And I have really had to work on this because y'all know me by now. I have a silly side. I can be a little bit extra, but I really work on it because it's not always appropriate. Of course, when I'm home and I'm with my family or I'm cooking with y'all, you may see that more of that silly side, but I have to remind myself every day, to show up more refined. I have to work on it. And so that's why we share with you all because this is a skill. It is something that you can learn. You never want to do anything that you're going to regret. So elegance is about simplicity and not drawing attention to yourself. What I think about is, am I carrying myself in a way that people are going to want to lean in and say, who is Maggie? I want to get to know her. Or am I carrying myself in a way that they're like, make it stop? Look, y'all know, don't act. Y'all know there are some people that you can only take in small doses. We all know those people, and I'm trying not to be that person. It is a struggle for me, okay? Because I just want to break out. Okay. There's a song. Break out. Dun, 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 dun. See? Okay, I'm sorry. Lucy, I don't even know how we got here. Anything else?
No, I think I like the don't depart late portion because again, you got to think about that host has taken the entire day to prepare this, so you don't want to give them more time for them to clean up and and rest and go to sleep. So again, it goes back to be considerate.
Absolutely. And for those of you all who have never hosted, you've only been a guest, allow me to share with you. Hosting is exhausting. And I love to do it. I love taking care of people. Y'all know I'm an Airbnb host. I'm hosting Thanksgiving. I love making a warm and welcoming space. This is exhausting, making sure that we show up for you all and give you our best. And I'm the extrovert. I get energized with people. Lucy probably has to take a nap. Introverts are drained when they're around people. So just know this, if you've never hosted anybody, when you just show up and you're like, yeah, this is great. It's a lot. It's a lot on the host. So even if you didn't like the food, even if you didn't like the music, even if you would have not worn what someone else wore, thank the host and be gracious because they didn't have to do this at all and they didn't have to invite you, even if it's at a hotel or whatnot. I was treated to tea today and I said multiple times, thank you so much for thinking of me. All right. Work from home wife of Atlanta is laughing. I already forgot what I said, but me and my outbursts, y'all know I've had multiple talking tos. It's not working. Like I am who I am.
Yeah, but
But
there's also, there's you can't erase who you are
yeah,
also. Your essence is you are Maggie. And sometimes, yes, sometimes maybe you gotta, bring it down a little bit, but you can't just completely take it out from you because then it wouldn't make you you.
yeah, that's true. And Lucy brings up a good point, ladies. Of course, on your elegance journey, you want to keep your natural personality. We all have our quirks. You want to be your authentic self, right? Like if I were perfect all the time, y'all would be like, bring the old Maggie back. So it's really just about being the best version of you, right? Whoever that is. And even if you bring it down 1,000, like I have to do multiple times, your natural personality will still come through and people will be able to enjoy you. You will find your tribe. I have my extrovert people that I can go off where none of y'all are there, and then I get it together. All right, Lucy's laughing. Y'all know how it is. Y'all know how it is when you're around your people. I could just date. Oh
Yes.
my gosh. So okay, so I think that's everything. I know this is a little bit longer one today, you all, but I really wanted you all to see. So thank you, Lucy, for putting together the graphics for afternoon tea. And this is a great time of year, ladies, to go experience tea if you never have. They're doing like a little bit like today. I think my dining companion had sugar plum fairy, so they have like standing teas, and then they may have some seasonal ones too. So it's a really fun time of year to go to a really nice hotel, enjoy the ambiance, the Christmas decorations, the music, and just take time to savor something. It's really a lost art because we move so fast, we eat fast, we drink fast, we just do everything fast. And this is something you can actually sit down and enjoy. All right, any final words, Lucy?
And it's part of just our feminine essence is finding the beauty in almost everything.
Mhm.
So going to a place, if you, okay, so speaking of being at a place where you think that you're not going to like the food or the people, that's the reason for an RSVP. If you know that's not your thing, say, just respond on the RSVP. No, thank you. That's it. You don't need to give a reason. You don't need, no, thank you. And life goes on. But if you're going to be going to somewhere where you've said yes, find the beauty in everything that you do, because that is our jobs as feminine women. Find, be gracious, be grateful, find the beauty in everything.
Oh my goodness, I love that. So, yes, ladies, you're not obligated to do anything, but I would just offer to stretch yourself. If you say, "No, it's not my thing," let it be a no because I tried it and I didn't like it. Don't just shoot down a new experience, you know? I mean, I had to do a lot of this work as homework assignments for the etiquette schools that I was in, and I was kinda like, "What do I do?" the first time, but I actually really enjoy it. Now, there are some things, like, for example, I'm not huge on, like, art galleries and the opera, but I love the symphony and the ballet. So but I've tried it all. I've been everywhere. Try it and then you will know. Okay, so let's see. Tomorrow is Sunday, so I should have mastermind. Are you okay for 8 p.m. my time, which is 5 p.m. your time, Lucy?
Yeah, 5 should be good. It's actually
Okay,
better.
5 is
5.
good.
Mhm.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Perfect. All right, everyone. Well, we will be back tomorrow for day 19. The Elegance Boot Camp is available on my Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and my Instagram. Available on Lucy's YouTube, and then we also have a Spotify. We have two Spotify podcasts. This Elegance Boot Camp, and then our weekly Ask Us Anything Wildcard Wednesdays. So you all can listen on the go. Please share and include any ladies who may be interested in this. And if you want more private coaching with Lucy and or me, go to teachablemoments.maggie.com. All right, everyone. So much fun. I had so much fun. Can I see your teacup one more time? I just want to look at what elegance looks like. Look at that, y'all. It's just so dainty and delicate. It's beautiful. I got my Target special. Shout out to the boy moms, y'all. They won't let me be great. I don't really have nice things, but I will one day, okay? One day. Kaylee says, great stream. Yes, ladies, have a lovely night. Killis likes it too. And thank you. In all seriousness, thank you.
Same.
As you all
Thank
head
you.
out, would you please put Thane in the chat just one more time for the $400, 200 for me and 200 for Lucy. Incredibly generous, and he comes through and is such a blessing. And I think of you every time I put my watch on. All right, ladies, we will see you all tomorrow for day 19. Until then, enjoy your Saturday.
Adios.
Adios.